Hey guys, so we're back for another Stocks by Request. And as you all know, we've been doing our ongoing coverage of Jollibee because up until now, it's one of the most requested stocks. And it's been happening over the course of time. No? So thank you so much to everyone who have been sending your votes for us to be able to analyze it. And if you're new to this channel, please do note that this is a channel where we help you analyze, give you strategies. These are not basically tips. No, they're here to give you where it is from a technical analysis perspective, where it is from a support and resistance perspective, and what are the other parameters actually telling us. So if you're new to this, appreciate it if you could subscribe and hit the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content. I basically put daily videos here in this channel, and I just have one goal in mind. I just want to help you guys to learn as much as possible about investing and trading the markets with confidence. So before I go to the chart of Jollibee, as you guys have been requesting, I want to note some things that's happening. I mentioned this on the previous videos that there's a shift going on in terms of people spending. I mentioned in the previous videos that people are moving their spending from luxuries to things that are more basic. I've mentioned that in terms of spending, there will be more people who will spend money on things that are cheaper that they need, or even more expensive, as long as what they think that they need it. They think it's a necessity. They think it's something that they can use in this new normal that we're having. So there will be certain businesses, industries that will, I think, no longer be, it won't be as relevant anymore. And there will be some retail establishments, there will be some food establishments that if they don't develop a brand, if they don't develop, the recall won't be there, or their price point isn't something that will be affordable, or at least the market won't be able to afford it, then they might have a hard time. So a couple of things you need to remember, that brand is so important in everything, because brand is basically everything. If you have an amazing brand, people will come back to you. If you have an amazing brand, what people missed before this pandemic, they will go back to it again. And I think that's one thing Jollibee has. No, Jollibee has brand. And if you notice it, one of the things that you need to see also is consumer behavior, how people's spending will be, and how people's reaction towards spending. What are they buying first in this new normal? Before I talk about Jollibee again, I went to the supermarket just a couple of days ago to buy supplies. And one thing is so interesting. I mean, I'm from BGC, so there's probably around 3 or 4 supermarkets here, or around 5. You have Robinsons by Mega World. Then you have another one in Central Square, which is below, which is Marketplace. Then you have SNR. Then you have SM Aura, SM. Then you have Market, MRSGI under an Ayala Mall. So I think basically those are the 5 supermarkets in the area. Then you have a lot of convenience stores. When I went to SM Aura, here's what's interesting. Normally, you would see a lot of people there, mahaba pila. But when I was there was none. There was a very, very short line as compared to, number one, hardware stores. Ace Hardware at that time had a very, very long queue. So I think we may be past a point also already where the reason why at the start people were buying stuff, people were hoarding food, because they thought it would be hard to go out. The people also thought that, hey, there might be food shortage. But we are in, I think, 60 days already since the lockdown, or even more than that. We started the lockdown March 15. We're closing into June already. But there's still a steady supply of food. So food shortage is not the problem. And now, since the economy is starting to open up, people have the money and they're gonna spend. And I guess since a lot of people have been staying at home, since they have been staying at home now, what they're gonna do basically is may mga bagay sa bahay na sira na gusto nilang ayusin, or since they think this pandemic will last for a very long time, there will be things that they haven't done na instead na mag-travel, since they're staying here, they will use a travel budget in order to make life more comfortable at home. So part of that is beautifying their house, making it more comfortable. And part of that also is when everything opens up, the comforts that they wanted pre-pandemic, the food that they wanted to eat, the brands that they wanted to eat, I think we will go back there, provided that spending will still be there, that people still have food. And the reason why I'm saying this is, if you look at what's happening in the US markets, there are a lot of chains, no, from supermarkets and food delivery outlets that have made a lot of money because of online transactions. So one thing I want you to watch out for Jollibee is basically this: how good they are in churning everything that's going on so that they get to earn online. How can they pivot that? Of course, there's already opportunity lost from the lockdown last March. So a lot of the stores were also closed, and revenue also will be lost. That's something that they cannot bring back anymore. But what they can do is, since a lot of people right now, even people that are not accustomed to investing online, I've talked to a lot of stockbrokers that accounts for stock brokerage accounts right now have gone up because I guess there's more people at home also. In the same way, it's also like that when it comes to food and online delivery. Why there are people that didn't like to order online. There were people that wanted to go to the stores. There were people that were very, very traditional. They just wanted to do their transactions yung on a normal brick and mortar traditional way. But because of what's going on, they're now forced to transact online. And check it out. Who will be the food brand, the food chain that will grab a large piece of the online transactions, regardless if it's via Grab, regardless if it's via Food Panda or their own online delivery service? Who will grab a large piece of that pie will make a lot of money in this new normal. Again, e-commerce right now is continually booming. Of course, there's production problems also. There's mobility problems. But if e-commerce was not around, then you would have a slower economy also. So that being said, that's my take. Before everything opens, or even before people go to either Jollibee, Max, Pancake House, or whatever, I think online will be one of the biggest upsides, because until there's a vaccine, until there's a cure. Again, over the past few days, there was a company in the US already that said that, oh, the trials were okay. Then the next day it wasn't good, and the stock started to tank again or started to drop again. So until a vaccine or a cure will be found, I'm people won't still go back to where they are. So there. Now let's look at the charts. Comment below if you're learning. Comment below if you like me doing this. Now I'm combining certain aspects of the way I analyze things, so that it's not just purely just technicals, but me also adding a layer of what's happening either in the local front, or what's happening also in the macroeconomy. So now let's deep dive into the charts. This video is most likely coming out at 9 p.m. So if you want me to make one more video, put it in the comment section below, and I'm gonna make one more, probably another one talking about the markets in general. So let's see now. And then before I go also to the chart, there are a lot of people asking for the books. I've already placed it here. It's scrolling here. If you want to grab a copy of the 5-book series that we have, it's in the description, but it's also scrolling here. So that's basically 5 books in the stock market, teaching you the basics on how you can use fundamental analysis, use technical analysis, and if you really want to start trading, investing, 5 books for you, all via Shopee. Anyways, let's start here. So as you can see, from the last time I did the video for Jollibee, I think it was more than close to 2 weeks already, because we're already closing to the tail end of the week. No, the trend really hasn't shifted. The main underlying long-term trend for Jollibee is still down. We have not seen yet a clear and full reversal from a position trading standpoint. If you notice it also, this entire line here, let me draw the line so at least you get to see it. This entire downtrend here is not broken, as you can see, very, very clear. As you can see also, the 100-day and the 200-day moving average are also bearish. You see the stock moving below it, confirming that the major underlying trend still headed down. Now, that being said, from a trend standpoint, the movement is still pushing down. Now, let's look at it from the short term. What is the volatility saying? If you notice, and it's also very, very consistent to what's happening in the Philippine Stock Exchange Index as a whole, it's also, from a shorter perspective, moving sideways. If you notice it, starting mid-April to where we are right now. It's 5+ weeks already that after the large drop here from, if you notice, um, March 10, after the 50 plus drop from March 10 all the way to March 19, it zoomed up more than 60 plus percent in just 2 weeks. Then after that, 5+ weeks moving sideways. So please take note of this, that we have a support at the 132 peso level, and then we have a resistance at the 150 peso level. 20-day moving average and MACD is also confirming that there's no momentum. It's flat, it's sideways, it's moving slow. I guess one of the triggers still right now is if you want to see Jollibee have the ability to push higher, it's a breakout from the 150 peso level. If it breaks out from the 150 peso level, then there's a chance that it could challenge and go to around 163 pesos, and it could try to attack either the 100-day moving average or the downtrend that I'm trying to point out here. So that being said, if it does not break out from this yet, this 150 level, you may not expect any sudden surges moving up. In the same way, for the downside, if it goes below 132, then it has a possibility again to go back somewhere close to here, which is around the 105, 106, all the way up to the 110 level. So those are things you must consider from a support and resistance standpoint, from a risk and reward standpoint. Breakout from 150, target price 100, breakdown from 132, possible retracement back to the 106 level. That's for quick trading. For position trading, again, we still have not reversed yet, although MACD is above zero, but it's also showing you that there's a change in direction, and the particular change in direction that we have right now is it's moving relatively sideways. So that's where we are for Jollibee, and I think everyone's still trying to navigate through this time. So this is something that's very new. This is something that's very different. This is something that we have not experienced also before. So companies are pivoting. Companies are trying to figure out how will people's spending behaviors be right after this. People are also trying to figure out what are the things that I can sell. So try to imagine that, will Jollibee continue to sell their chicken joys via the grocery? It's also contingent. No, please remember, the US is starting to open up already. It's not fully opened up yet, but they're opening some of the businesses already, which is somewhat good because Jollibee also has exposure there, meaning not just their Jollibee stores, but they have Red Ribbon branches there. Of course, the very controversial Smash Burger, which in 2019 wasn't making money for them, will also be there. Then you also have China. So what's good though is Vietnam. Jollibee is a large exposure in Vietnam, and from what we're seeing now, since prior to the past few days, in the past few weeks, Vietnam had a spike in their cases, but prior to that, the growth of the daily infections for the coronavirus has somehow tapered down. So if that does well, then it could be an upside also for Jollibee in terms of how they could possibly revitalize earnings in that area. But everywhere else, where there's Filipinos and Jollibee restaurants from the Middle East, especially the Middle East, they're also in lockdown, and other areas where there's exposure to Jollibee. So I think majority of the companies here will take a hit. Majority of the companies for the year won't really be as all of the growth expectations won't be there. So I was talking to a good friend, a YouTuber. You can check his video, his channel, Carlo Oplan. We were talking about this sideways markets, and I mentioned it to him that if you're a long-term investor, because I've mentioned quick trading and position trading. If you're a long-term investor, especially right now that the market is sideways, at the end of the day, basically you most likely will have to wait. Either you're a long-term investor and you believe the underlying fundamentals will be good, you believe this company fundamentally, financially will be better 3 years from now, you buy and then you wait. Or you want to remove all of that risk, you wait now, you don't do anything now, and then you just start to buy once everything starts to clear out. But there's one key important ingredient into all of that. Either style you pick, you will also have to wait. And there's one thing that I do know. I've been investing for more than a decade already, that it's not just about technicals, it's not just about fundamentals, it's not just about volume and allocating money, not just portfolio management, not just about managing your emotions, not just also sizing your money properly. One key thing that is very, very important if you want to be successful in the markets is the ability to be patient, the ability to wait. That if your signal to buy is not hit, then you do nothing. If your signal to buy doesn't get uh, either whatever it is, reversal, bounce from support, valuations, growth, etc., whatever it is, if those conditions are not satisfied, then you don't have to do anything. You just stay in the sidelines and live to fight another day until those signals are hit as well. So there. By the way, quick announcement. For live events, hopefully we get to do it this June for Stock Smarts Manila. For the other cities, hopefully we get to do it once flight restrictions are better. But I'm excited now. It's nice to do videos like this. It's amazing, but it's still nice to talk to people on a, I don't know, classroom level, that you get to see their faces, you get to talk, they get to ask questions. But neither the less, we'll have to see how everything will go. And there, expect another video after this. I just hope that this video added tremendous value to you, and I'm just gonna keep on making videos for all of you guys because at the end of the day, I just love this. And thank you to everyone who greeted me sa haircut ko. No? Baka there might be people commenting na, o bakit nakakap ka, nagpagupit ka na? Because wala naman, ang hirap din magpumid if you're just at home. So but there will be some videos siguro I won't be using caps, but for tonight, hindi muna. Hindi muna. So there, I hope you guys learned a lot from this. Comment the stocks that you guys want me to analyze. The next video will probably come out 10:30. And then if you guys want me to guess any person that I have not either guessed before, or you want that person to come back in the vlog, put them in the comment section, and then we'll try to make videos off of that. So there, online courses with Sean Si, Chinkee Tan are in the description below. Link to order the book is there. And yun, subscribe, smash the bell so that it helps the YouTube algorithm figure out that this is an awesome channel. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, guys, and God bless you all.